Greetings, blessed love, and a mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I am Life and Light Productions. And I, Just Sparks, I am your host. Today is class 9 of High School of Thought, lesson 9 of the Master Key System in self-mastery. Finding true knowledge of self. So, greetings to each and every I that is joining in with I, and the ones them that are to come. We do give thanks and praises. Mighty heart of Sabbath remembrance to each and every I going through. I pray each and every eye is up full and bright and living in the light of their mind. Yes, do remembering that the Sabbath is a state of mind, a state of being, dwelling in a state fulfilled, more so than, just experiencing a 7-day Sabbath on a Saturday, but Sabbath is really a fulfillment, like if you're having the Sabbath and the Saturday, it's supposed to be a day of joy, happiness, rejoicing, love, sharing, them type of things. You know what I'm saying? And in actuality, the Sabbath itself is to be carried on unto the 8th day and the 9th and the 10th and the 11th. Yes, right? So the Sabbath is actually an inward thing, a spiritual thing, to be able to carry it on to the 8th, to the 9th, to the 10th, and so forth. You see it. So we do give thanks again royally for each and every eye joining in. Blessings to each and every household. Yeah. May the eyes then be filled with health, wealth, and love. Loads of love, unconditional love. The love that requires not conditions, Yeah, it do exist, Yeah. And everyone do have it, to a certain extent, They show that unconditional love to someone, or something, So we know that unconditional love exists in each and every soul. You see it? And if unconditional love exists in each and every soul, then it's our duty to pull it out of them, by reflecting ourselves as that unconditional love. And once we stand in the perfection of unconditional love, we will draw unconditional love to us. Draw it out of others who at once seem had no unconditional love. You see it? So it's all about I and the thoughts them that we hold, the thoughts that we carry. So we do give thanks once again. And I pray that last strong's lesson was exercised with diligence, because it was, our lesson for last strong was to visualize something from visible into invisible, from the outcome back to the beginning. You see it, so I pray the eyes them, full joy the moment, the time to self, that self-cleansing, that self-renewal, that true purpose in life, we do give thanks for each and every eye that is, forward into full joy the experience. Yes, right? Yeah, man. Rastafari. So we're going to go into this strong's lesson, this exercise for this strong, which is the 9th strong, the 9th week. So lesson 9 of the Master Key System, class 9 of High School of Thought. This strong, we will be visualizing a plant, We're going to take a flower, one that we love, any flower it may be. You know, I love the orange, what do you call it? The orange ivory. You know, I love the scent of that flower there. You know, I smelt it when I was living in Trinidad. I smelt it when I went and I was living in St. Croix. I smelt it when I came to America. And now I have it in my yard here in Ghana. You know, it followed me everywhere I went, you know. So it is fitting for it to now reside with I. You know, it's a glorious, glorious scent. You know, I do give thanks for its presence in creation, you know, because it fills my heart with joy and remembrance of good things every time I smell it. So we do give thanks, you know. So we're going to visualize a plant of our preference, you know, whichever one we love, you know, to our heart, you know, one that when we close our eyes, it's easy for us to, you know, see it, you know, take thought of it and don't feel like it's a force or anything like that, you know, but it just feels natural to just think about this plant, think about this flower, you know. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring it from unseen to seen, right? We're going to plant a seed in the mind. We're going to see ourselves getting one of the seeds and planting it in the soil, whether it be in a cup, in a bag, or in the dirt, you know, in the ground. And we're going to plant it and we're going to water it. We're going to care for it. We're going to place it where it will get direct rays of the morning sun. We're going to see the seed burst. It is now a living thing, something which is alive and searching for means of subsistence, you know. So we're going to see the whole process complete, you know, meaning you plant the seed, you see it germinate, you see the first two water leaf come out, then the first other two supporting leaf, then the first set of leaves, and then, you know, and then the branches them that coming out from in between those leaves, and then it grow up and it come up, and then whether it be a fruit or whether it bloom a flower, you know, and then, you know, you see the whole process of it complete. Then we're going to see the fruit or the flower, yeah, the end product, you know. Now, if you concentrate intensely enough, you will become conscious of a fragrance. It is the fragrance of the flower as the breeze gently sways the beautiful creation which you have just visualized. Okay? It says, when you are able to make your vision clear and complete, accurate, you will be enabled to enter into the spirit of a thing. It will become very real to you. You know, so that is what, you know, we have to learn for this week here. Entering into the spirit of a thing. Visualizing something so deeply, concentrating so deeply that you actually place yourself there. You know, you see the whole surroundings clear. You smell the fragrance of whatever it is that you're before. You know, if it's a food, you can taste the food. And when you taste it in your mind, you can actually feel your mouth water, entering into the spirit of a thing, you know. So we're going to go now into the question and answer for class 9, lesson 9 of the Master Key System, my school of thought. Question 1. Hold on, let me check, because last time I was on, you know, and I came up, they said it had one chat, but you know, I didn't see it. So right now I'm checking. There is no chats, no one showing themselves there. I see one like. We give thanks for the eye presence. We give thanks to all the eyes them presence, visible and invisible. That's right? Yes. So question 1. What is the imperative condition of all well-being? The answer, well-doing. Question 2. What is the conditions precedent to every right action? So what is the conditions that come before every right action that we do or that is done? Answer, right thinking. Okay? Question 3. What is the underlying condition necessary in every business transaction or social relation? Answer, to know the truth. Question 4. What is the result of a knowledge of the truth? Answer, we can readily foretell the result of any action that is based upon a true premise. Question 5. What is the result of any action based upon a false premise? Answer, we can form no conception of the result which may ensure. So in other words, it's saying anything that is formed upon the truth is formed in certainty, confidence. You set out to do something, you're confident and certain of the outcome. That is the truth. If you set out to do something and you're wavering, worried and concerned about the outcome, which may be, then you're standing on a false premise and do not know what outcome is going to come. So the truth is something that you stand on and do not waver, whatsoever it may be. For every lie is a truth. So that means everything is truth. Yes, right. Understand how the universe works. Whatsoever you believe becomes your truth. For the universe is not solidified, but it's energy waves that is transforming and changing and forming into our concepts and beliefs that we're holding with ourselves of it. It's a magical place. It's not a place of, hard substance that cannot be changed. Everything is changing in creation. Everything is in generation. And this is what we must understand. You see it? Question 6. How may we know the truth? Answer, by a realization of the fact that the truth is the vital principle of the universe. What is the truth? The truth is the vital principle of the universe and is therefore omnipresent. Yes, right? So the truth is that which holds everything in life, gives it life, sustains it. And that which sustains life and gives it life, gives life, is omnipresent, is everywhere. So we have to come to the realization of this, that whatsoever is being taught of shall become a truth. For truth is everywhere and everything. Yes, right? And we were taught to separate the powers that be. You know? For think about it. If there is one supreme being, how could there be good and evil? Meaning, two forces fighting against itself within nature or within creation. Don't exist. It's not true. It's right? So these are the things then we have to come to the realization of. Start to rewire our mind, our thinking, our thought pattern, changing our neurological patterns, changing our heavens, changing our earth, changing our body, cleansing and purifying ourselves just in thought and word. Yes, I? Okay. Question 7. Blessed eyes, Honorable Hilton, Valentine, royal blessings, Honorable I give thanks to the I royal pleasant presence, blessings to the I royal family going through. See it. And Honorable Bonnie, Robot, we do give thanks for the love, give thanks to thy presence, royal blessings to thy royal family going through. Yeah, man, health, wealth, and love, fullness of prosperity and joy to the eye going through. Yeah, we do give thanks for every moment, you know. Yes, I. Question 7. What is the nature of truth? Okay. The answer, the nature of truth is spiritual. It is spiritual. Truth is spiritual. And it is omnipresent. Okay? Question 8. What is the secret of the solution to every problem? Hey, is there one secret to every problem? Hey, well then we have hit the jackpot. Eh? We have found salvation. The secret to every problem. And now we will know. What is the secret to every problem? Answer, to apply spiritual truth. Hey, spiritual truth applied to every problem is the solution. Hey, lovely, isn't it? We do give thanks. Question 9. What is the advantage of spiritual methods? All right, so when you use spiritual truth, spiritual methods to solve your problems, the answer, they are always available. So spiritual methods to solve problems are always available. You know, just like it says, the Lord is a very present help in time of trouble. Yes, who is the Lord? The Lord is your word. What is your word? Your word is your human imagination, the living word of God, ever present in time of trouble. Think our way out, and we shall be out. Think our way stuck, and we shall be stuck. You know? So this is what it is. This is the awakening. For there is no other power but self. And you are the dreamer, dreaming into your reality all that you are believing to be true. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, it is. Very wonderful. Now you know that you can change your dream at will if you desire. Yes, right? And if the dream that you're living now is not pleasant, is not desirable, you have the power to change it at will. Yes, right? So there is no need for outside help from anyone or anything. For the power worketh through all and in all. For the power is all. You see it? So that's why they say help from man is vain. Because you're going to go out there and you're going to look, you're going to ask this one for help, that one for help. They will help you once, twice, but then they will see you as a burden. Then where is your help? And if you're trusting in them, then you have lost, because now they're not helping you and your trust is in them. But now if you trust within yourself, trust in your inner eye, in your human imagination, whatever image you put in there, yourself in abundance, in joy and splendor and happiness, and then you trust in that, yes, verily and verily, it shall come to pass. You sight. And you shall never see yourself in the place where you have to be begging bread from someone. You shall be fed. You sight. You know, so question 10 of class 9 of High School of Thought, lesson 9 of the Master Key System. What are the necessary requirements? All right. The necessary requirements to using spiritual methods, spiritual truth to solve your problems. What are the requirements? Answer: a recognition of the omnipotence of spiritual power and a desire to become the recipient of its beneficent effects. Yes, right. So, the necessary requirements for you to attain and achieve the spiritual methods and use the spiritual methods to, walk with the spiritual methods or whatever, is having the recognition of the omnipotence of spiritual power. It's never ending. It's everywhere, and it's always there. And the desire to be that person through which this very power will proceed and come forth and express itself into creation. You see it? So we give thanks for class 9 of High School of Thought, lesson 9 of the Master Key System, on our way to the 24 steps to self-mastery, having true knowledge of self and being able to now govern self accordingly. You see it? And this road is not any road. It's a very particular road, and I use particular for a reason, It's a very particular road. You see it? And only the few shall walk it. You see it? It's not for the many. It's for the few. Though it's for the many, you see it? It's a patience road and a discipline road, So on your trottings, be patient and learn to be disciplined with self. You see it? Learn day to day from your experiences what is desirable and what is not desirable. Search your thoughts. Find yourself during the day. See where you're at. See what thoughts you're thinking. Because the thoughts that you're thinking is the reality that you are manifesting. You are creating. So it's very important for us to pay close attention to our mind space, to what we're holding in there as our reality. You see it? Because we are going to back up our thoughts, and I will say we are going to encounter our children, our sons and our daughters. Yes, the creations of our mind are going to be presented to us in people. You see it? The people that are in our environment that is holding to these certain principles that we are holding in our thoughts. You see it? So it's very important for I and I to be conscious of what we're thinking. You see it? Very important. You know? Very important. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You see it? And many a times we thinking in our heart so many unjust and cruel things. You see it? And to think in your heart is to think with feeling, to think with spiritual energy, that feeling. You see it? To think in your heart. So anything that you're thinking in your mind and you're applying feeling to it, you're thinking in your heart about it, in your core. And you're sending out that vibration into the universe that ripples out into the universe and shall soon return to you in a ripple effect. And it shall not return to you void, having nothing with it. It shall return to you fruitful and multiplied. The ripple shall be bigger. You see it? So, as a man, so within his mind, so shall he reap in his reality. You see it? So there is no one to blame for anything anymore but ourselves. It's time now for I and I to take responsibility into I and I own hand and come to the realization that there is nothing over I and I holding I and I from doing or being what I and I desire it to be. Nothing. You see it? And we have to learn to break free of the mental chains that have been so long holding us down in captivity. You see it? We have to break free of it. Understanding what the mental chains are. Mental chains are about thoughts. Thoughts that are hindering and limiting you. Having you in poverty. Having you not able to move like you desire to move. To do like you desire to do. Any thought that is stopping you from moving forward in life is a mental chain and must be removed. You see it? Any thought whatsoever it may be. Now, we're going to go deeper now. We're going to enter into the changing of states and the mental chains that is holding us from being able to transcend states. Being able to change our very reality at will. We have to learn now to remove those inner mental chains that is obstructing us from rejoicing and dancing where there is no outward physical evidence for us to rejoice and dance. You see it? We're living in a world where we were brought up in idolatry, where we have to see something in order to perform and react and like and love. You see it? Glorying in things, the things them that we see with our outer eyes. You know? We have to learn to glory in the invisible, in the unseen, in the things them that we are holding within our mind. You see? For if you're living a life, you see, and your life is undesirable, for you to go into your mind and desire the right type of life and see it in there and have the love for it in there, you have to now be able to loose the mental chains that will deny you the reality of its existence over what you're seeing with your two outer eyes. You have to learn to break free of those chains mentally and emotionally. Break free. Being able to just rejoice and be happy and glad at will. And not because something happened, but just at will. Breaking free from the chains of oppression. You see it? Yeah. This is what we are to be doing. Being able to transcend from state to state. Transmutate. You see it? Because I tell the eyes them we are the greatest there is. We are all there is. You see it? We are the makers of everything that we see and hear. You see it? We are the first. You see it? And we will be the last. You see it? So we must hold within our balance the perception of who we truly are. The light that we are in this world and what we are here to do. You see it? So I give thanks to the eyes them who join in with I. You know what I'm saying? Whether you are showing yourself visible or you are remaining invisible, you still do exist in creation. And you're still here with I, so I give thanks to the I. Most royally. You see it? You know? Because it's not about an outward glorification. Everyone are run down subscribers and followers and likes and the whole outward hype. You know what I'm saying? Where the truth of the matter is, the whole thing dwells within. You know what I'm saying? And it's for one to come to the realization of truth within. And when you come to the realization of truth within, you'll be able to use truth most perfectly. And bring your heaven, that which is in your mind, on earth. That which you desire shall be made manifest to you. You see it? So that's the thing there. You see it? Each and every eye is worthy of it. I don't care what you did in your life. You know? You did it because you was ignorant to the fact of self or the knowledge of self. If you had the knowledge of self, you would act differently. Because from the knowledge of self, click. Anything you do opposite, you shall destroy yourself. Yeah. From you come to this knowledge, you can't turn back. You can't turn back. Because you realize that thought is everything. You see it? It teaches you that. It teaches you that even if you think against someone else, it's not going to harm that person. It's going to harm you. Because you are all there is. You see it? Even if you don't have the knowledge of it, you know, and you're thinking and pushing thought and energy against someone to hurt them, you see it? And hurt them, you're still hurting yourself, you know, because that thought is still coming back to you same way, you know. You see it? So this knowledge uplift I and I so that we are able now to use our thoughts aright. You know what I say? And then now become the true worshippers of the Most High. Those that worship the Most High in spirit and in truth, in word and in feeling, in vision, and then becoming, you know what I'm saying? Like embodying it then. You see it? You have to embody it, become it, in order to change your reality. You see it? So we do give thanks again, you know? Yes, Hilton. IRS. Give thanks, my Lord. Blessed heart of Sabbath to the eye. Blessed heart of Sabbath remembrance. Yeah, man, give thanks to the eye. Presence with eye, you know. Royal blessings to the eye, royal house. Yeah. You know, we give thanks. There, you know. On the mission, you know, that every eye should come to know themselves. You know? Yeah. And that's it there, you know. So we give thanks for this here lesson, question and answer. And as always, I will go over First Strong's lesson and question and answer. You know? So again, this strong, we are visualizing a plant and we're taking it from unseen, from invisible to visible. And we want to enter into the spirit of the thing. We want to visualize it so deeply and so concentrated that we can smell the fragrance of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you can do that, you're entering into the spirit of a thing. When you can enter into the spirit of a thing, you see, now you are entering into your subconscious mind. You see? Now your subconscious will not know, will take it definitely as the truth. And that is where you want to be able to get access to your subconscious mind, to that place of absolute power that is within you. That once you can get there and plant the seeds of your desires there, inevitably, it will come to pass. You see it? Yeah. So, First Strong, it was class 8, lesson 8 of the Master Key System. And we were to, tell you about before. All right, from boom, 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 right. We were to take an object and follow it back to its origination, right? Whatever object you choose. Well, they said here, you know, we're going to see what it really consists of. If you can do this, you can develop imagination, insight, perception, and sagacity. You see it? All inner powers. You see it? Inner strengths that is used in creation. Okay? These come not by superficial observation of the multitude, not just by outer observation, you see, but by a keen analytical observation which sees below the surface of things. It is the few who know that the things which they are seeing are effects. So only few know and understand that everything that we see with our eyes are but effects. They are not causes. You see it? They didn't come of themselves. You see it? And understand the cause which these effects were brought into existence. So the cause is the thought. The ever-living cause or source of all things that we see. You see? So we're supposed to take the same position as every other week, you know, and visualize a battleship, you know. See the grim monster floating on the surface of the water, this big battleship, you know, like, you know, the US battleship or the Russia battleship or, you know, Europe battleship or China battleship or whoever battleship, you know. But see the battleship vast, and remember, see the battleship still a whole boat span it, and it still have plane pan it and helicopter and all these things there pan it. You see it? Runway and all kind of thing pan the battleship. You see? So we're supposed to Imagine it within, right? Now, there appears to be no life anywhere. Because when you see it, you ain't seeing nothing, nobody walking around on it. So it just appears to be just floating by itself. No one there with it. Yes, I? Now, all is silent. But you know by far that the larger part of the vessel is under the water out of sight. Yes, I? You know that the ship, the vessel, is as large and heavy as a 20-story skyscraper. So it's a big thing. Very big and large, heavy. You know what I'm saying? And most of it is underwater, unseen. Only a little portion of it is seen. And the little portion that is seen is still vast and big. You see it? Now, you know that there are hundreds of men ready to spring to their appointed task instantly. Right? Men and women. Yes, right? You know that every department that is in charge are able, trained, and skilled officials who have proven themselves competent to take charge of this marvelous piece of mechanism. Yes, right? So you know everybody working on the ship ready and able. Yes, right? Now, you also know that although the ship lies oblivious and it seemed like anyone could attack it from anywhere, you know what I'm saying, and it could just get destroyed just like that, it has eyes which can see for miles around, and nothing is permitted to escape its watchful vision. So in other words, there is radars and cameras and all kind of thing, sonar and everything. So nothing can come close. They can come within probably 100-mile radius. So though it's sitting there oblivious and no help, you see it, yet still there is obscene amount of help within itself. You see it? So when I see this here now, it reminds I of I. You see it? I am the battleship. You see it? My body is the battleship. And within me, there is cells, brain cells, and, cells in general that are ready and able to perform anything that I am desiring. You see it? So these exercises are also helping you to identify with self and your abilities that you possess within you. You see it? The very word that you're speaking, what it is able to do within you, how your cells can transform just by your very words spoken to yourself. You see it? So you see that the power of health is no further than the thought. You might not have the word, they might cut out your tongue, but just the thought, I am healthy, and have that vibrate throughout your body in true reverence and worship, you shall become healthy. You see it? And this is the true knowledge of self, that there is nothing outside of self. You see it? So now, from you visualize that whole thing now, visualize it, go right back now. From that big ship now, take it right back now, bring it back now to being put together, to the builders, them building it together now, put into different parts them. You know how they put it together, whether they put it from up top, bottom top, how they put it together, Then you go back now to the blueprint. Then from the blueprint, you go to the sketches, the drawings that come before the blueprint. You see it? And then before that now, you go back to the thought. It was once a thought within someone's mind. And that thought persisted on, became that which is the battleship we call today. You see, so question and answer for class 8, lesson 8 of the Master Key System, which was full strong last week. Yes, right? Question 1. What is imagination? What is the imagination? Or what is imagination, the imagination? Answer. A form of constructive thought. The light by which we penetrate new worlds of thought and experience. The mighty instrument by which every inventor or discoverer opened the way from precedent to experience. All done through imagination or the imagination. Right? Now, question 2. What is the result of imagination? Answer. The cultivation of the imagination leads to the development of the ideal out of which your future will emerge. You need something? Tell him stop. Hey, King Shango, behave yourself. Don't let him have to come in there, come beat you. Stop that. Hey, don't be pointing finger. You don't do what niggas tell me you just did. Don't do it again. Yes, I. Question 3. How may it, the imagination, be cultivated? All right, answer. By exercise. It must be supplied with nourishment or it cannot live. So in other words, you must be given it, things to think about, to visualize, to see. You must be in there feeding it, else it cannot live, it cannot grow, it cannot sustain itself. It needs your willpower to keep it going. Yes, right? Okay. Question 4. How does imagination differ from daydreaming? Okay. Yes, imagination is different from daydreaming. All right. Answer. Daydreaming is a form of mental dissipation, while imagination is a form of constructive thought which wrought people every constructive action. So in other words, daydreaming is having your thoughts scattered and you're not focused on one. You're not building. You're not constructive. You're just sitting there and thinking about any and everything that comes to your mind and giving it all feeling and purpose. When imagination is about constructive thoughts that build, thoughts that are productive, that is for a reason, a purpose. You see it? You're thinking with intention. That is imagination. Okay. Question 5. What are mistakes? We all say that, yes, we have done mistakes in life, yes. But what are mistakes? Is right? What are these things that we have done in our life that we are labeling as mistakes? What are they? Answer. The result of ignorance. Right. So mistakes are but the result of lack of knowledge, the knowledge of the thing. Is right? What is knowledge? Question 6. Answer. The result of man's ability to think. Question 7. What is the power with which successful men and women build? Answer. Mind is the ever-moving force. The mind is the ever-moving force with which they secure the persons and circumstances necessary to complete their plans. So they establish everything in the mind. They see it clear and vivid in their mind. And then holding to that image and acting as the person that has it, they draw it to them. Not by force, but by the natural law of attraction, the natural law of the universe, the law of nature. It's right? The law of cause and effect. Okay. Question 8. What predetermines the result? Answer. The ideal held steady in mind attracts the necessary conditions for its fulfillment. So that predetermines the result. You holding the idea in your mind steady and unmoved, unwavered, is what will draw that circumstance and fulfill it. It didn't say by you going out and doing anything, running down the world and the things of it. It says by you steadying your thoughts, having dominion over your mind space, seeking first the kingdom of heaven, then all shall be added to you. It shall come to you in waves. So it's for I and I to come study these things, man. Come know about self and, make life much, much easier. Make life something that, we just attract, because life is happening through us anyway and not to us. So may as well it happen through us in the way that we're desiring. And the only way we can do this is by gaining the knowledge of what it is. The knowledge of self. That's right. Okay. Question 9. What is the result of a keen analytical observation? Answer. The development of imagination, insight, perception, and sagacity. All inner strengths. Right? And question 10, what do these inner strengths lead? The answer, opulence and harmony. Total oneness with the all. You see it. So we do give thanks again for the eyes them joining in. It is a blessed Sabbath, what I'm saying? So make sure that as you enter your state of Sabbath, that you rejoice and be glad in the day which you make it. For you make it your day by the things them that you're imagining. You see it. The things them that you're speaking out of your mouth. You see it. So this is the day, today is the day which you have made. Rejoice and be glad in it. So in other words, be able to remove your sackcloth and ashes and put on rejoicing. Take away your mourning and put on dancing. Being able to drop those mental chains that is stopping you from moving forward and receiving the things them that you desire. Because you receive through rejoicing. You receive through gratitude. You see it. So you can't sit and worry and think you're going to receive from the universe. Yes, you will receive more worry, more pain, more misfortune if you dwell in thought on those things. So we are learning to be masters of ourselves, masters of thinking. Being able to think only what we're desiring to think. Not being influenced by anyone out there. You see, please do realize that what you're believing to be true becomes your reality. Meditate on that for an hour. Meditate on it. I said I would say 10 minutes, but, I want to make it extreme. Meditate on it for an hour. The things them that you're believing to be true becomes your reality. There is no power outside of yourself. Everything that you see and know exists in you. So you're the all-seeing, all-knowing one. And apart from you, there is none. So until such time, royal family, we do give thanks again. Full joy the rest of the item Sabbath, We do give thanks again for the royal remembrance, of what state we ought to be in within our mind. That peace and love and joy of all things done. Yeah. And there is no going back. Yeah, for skies is the limit when all things are done for I and I. It's right, salvation has come. Redemption is now. It's right, for there is no tomorrow. Everything is in the eternal now. Don't get lost. We are never forsaken. We are never without help. Yes, right? We must see it for ourselves and we shall have it. Yes, right? And remember, don't no one give you anything in life. You give yourself all the things that you receive in life. And you take from yourself all that you don't have in life. Remember, everything is happening according to as you believe. So if you believe in your mind that you're having and receiving so much, your word, those thoughts, that vibration will go out and create a universe of that happening. And everyone that is coming forth and giving, everywhere that you receive from, is but your word being made flesh for you. It is but your child, your son, your creation coming forward to greet you. Yes, right? So take not thought of people and things and all these type of things when, people want to do things for you and then want to talk about, oh, they do this and they do that. No, don't take thought. They couldn't do it unless your presence is here. And if your presence weren't here, they wouldn't be able to do it for you. So the reason why they do it for you is because of you. Because of your presence, your energy. You called that to you. You gave it to you in creation. Yes, right. And this is what we must come to and know. Yes, right? Because we grew up in a world of a lot of misguided thinking, where people perceive that they're always doing and giving good and this and that and, no one ain't doing and giving and doing. No, all those are illusionary thoughts. It's right, and we need to step away from those. So until such time, royal family, fullness of joy to each and every household. Blessings every time. We do give thanks once again. This is I Am Life and Light Productions, and I am Just Sparks. I am your host of I School of Thought, and this was class 9, lesson 9 of the Master Key System. See you on the Forward Strong, and I pray each and every eye take their lessons diligently. Yes, right. For it's only I can see the result of the work that I do it. Just as it's only the I will see the result of the work that the I do it. And the glory will be within the I. And not in the world, but within the I, because it's within the I you will see and find the truth. And if you try to tell it to someone else, they wouldn't be able to see your truth unless they do it for themselves and they become the eyewitness of the truth. You see it. So until such time, royal family, we do give thanks again. Blessings again to the eyes them. IRS, Hilton, Bonnie, we do give thanks to the eyes them. Blessings, peace and love going through, Fullness of joy for the strong, Brilliance continually. Whole I am.